Are you kidding me? Dude. I thought this was going to be an absolute train wreck. I don't have any words. What? What? I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. That is absolutely insane. All right. Well, there's going to be definitely a part 2 to this. I really thought I was going to have to tear this thing apart. Driving the Slant 6 to the car show with the VRS. Yeah. Well, I was going to make a really bitchin' video of this. Has nothing to do with the carburetor. But that right there, that thing failed. And it's over-pressurizing the carburetor. And so it's shooting fuel out. And I started running super fat. And I was like, what's going on here? I pulled over. And I just don't want to risk it. I could probably get it home, but I've got a trailer. So wifey's coming to pick me up. But yeah, I was going to do a video of how well it's running, and I've never been on the side of the road with this car before, so this is a first. So yeah, as soon as you put electronics on things, they start to break. So while I'm doing carburetor testing, I think I'm going to take the fuel pump out of the tank and then just put the mechanical pump back on it, and let's call it good, because those things fail. Carburetor was running beautiful. That fails. So moving on. I took it out of the trailer. It's back here, and I am right now draining the tank. It's got fuel going in there. So that way I'm going to put the mechanical pump back on this thing just until I'm done testing this carburetor. I just don't want to risk it. Those things are, no matter which one I've used many different versions of it. And of course, the second I turn my camera on, the guy with the blower starts up. So awesome. Thank you. No matter which one I use of those things, they just fail. So I'm going to go back to mechanical pump, and we're going to start testing there. Today is Saturday, and we're going to go to a cruise with this thing. And I'm going to start tuning this carburetor, because I didn't get a chance to, because it basically was shooting fuel out of these holes here, splashing off of this and shooting forward. It was quite a sight. It was awesome. Alrighty, moving on. So I'm taking the electric pump out, putting this pump back in, and I'm going to run just a line over there, run it around the back, put a little filter right in here, and I'm just going to disconnect this for right now until I can until I run the other fuel injection. The pump just overpowers any one of those things right there. So yep, we're going to be driving this to a car show today, so got to get crack-a-lackin'. Alrighty, moving on. Alright, so I got this all in here. Put a silver line there, utilize this, and it runs up and around and to that. So that way I can use this for whatever. And I was tired of running that line up in the front. Anyways, now I got it jacked up, and we're going to take out the pump. Put this back in. Alrighty, see you soon. This is what I took out of the car. This was inside my tank. It's a pretty simple deal. You undo a couple screws here, fish it in, then put the screws back in, then put it back in your tank. I didn't have to drop the tank to do these. You basically just put up on jack stands, let the axle drop down. You have access to that thing. You pop it in, pop it out. This is really not a big deal. The only pain in the butt was because I had converted it to this type of plug, was for the sending unit, so I knew what my tank was, plus you know, the clip that goes from here to the body. I'll get up underneath the car here in a minute and show you what I did with that. But basically what that is, well, I'll just show you. How about that? So there's your access. And then you can see with the axle at full droop, you have plenty of room to get up in here. Pretty simple. I had to make a new connector for this. And then what I do for this, for the ground, since I broke the strap, is I just run a wire. I run a hose clamp. That gives me a ground here. And then I run it to a pole I got there. So that's also to the ground for the electric pump. This has just been taped up and zip tied out of the way for right now currently. This is still the fuel injection line. I just ran it back over there with the clamp. Called it good. So you can do this without having to drop the tank. Another thing I did too is I changed oil in this. I didn't change the filter. I just did a drain and refill on it. Because, you know, whenever you have fuel that contaminates the oil, it's going to destroy your ring. So yeah, I definitely did that. But yep, that's something you got to do. So if you ever have a regulator that goes bad like I did, definitely change your oil. Okay, so we did all the changes. It's dead cold. Check it out. Totally, completely dead cold. Ready to go for a ride?
Yes.
All right, so nothing like trial by fire. Ah, there we go. Awesome. Starts. Doesn't feel like it's flooding out.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
All right, so yeah, feels. I say it's good. I think what we're gonna do now is just kind of let it run here for a second, and then we're going to. Nothing like getting it on the freeway and driving it to a car show for a trial by fire with the family. Yeah, it's gonna be like 100 and something degrees today, so why not? So, yep, there it is. Next stop, car show. So we're at a car show. It's a benefit here at the Edelbrock headquarters in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And guess what we got here? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's right, Mr. VRS on Slant 60. Yeah, ran great. Had to put the mechanical pump back on it. Took the pump out of the tank. I was already mentioned that before, but man, it actually is amazingly. It's amazing how this thing runs on this. This is the same tune. I've said this 2 or 3 times, but I can't get enough of it. That's the same tune. I watched that carburetor right there come off of a 650 horsepower engine. We put it on the Suburban. We drove it. That same tune and carburetor is right there, unchanged, and driving on the Slant 6. Now this is kind of a hopped up Slant 6, but it makes, you know, all of probably 200 horsepower, 210 horsepower realistically. And the only thing I've tuned so far are just these, just the idle jets right here. It definitely puts out a little bunch of fuel on those right there, but you know, that's part of the tuning thing. So we're gonna keep driving this thing, and the Lizard King is doing its thing. That's why it's the Lizard King, because it can do anything if you're a Jim Morrison fan. Little doors. Yep. Anyways, we got some cool stuff here, and yep, enjoy. What you guys doing?
We're drawing
Big truck.